So next question is actually from me. I was
You
watching
have a
the
question? I thought you knew everything, Francis.
It's a question to himself, so he can flex.
so I was watching the August 26th office hour on the road, so you guys only see the top of my head. Uh, and I had a question, and except I couldn't put myself unmute and actually ask a question, so I decided I'll ask it here. So, how do you differentiate between the obligation and duty associated with the inalienable natural rights? So, is it fair to say that should a person abandon their right and obligation, then the reciprocally ensure other people's sovereignty, then they simultaneously abandon their own sovereignty? Do such a
Right.
person still enjoy the equal protection under the law? And if a person simply has no ability to fulfill the obligations, like for example, a disabled person who's unable to bear arms, then do the rest of us forbear their inability on the grounds that they're kin or reciprocate it in other ways?
What a great question. Gabriel, you answering this? Who's
Is
doing
that
this?
me? Yeah, that's me first. By abandoning one's inalienable right and obligation to defend it in others, they waiver their status as protected by the law. They become an outlaw essentially because they effectively undermine the foundational mechanism that enables the group to obtain sovereignty. For example, refusal to bear arms undermines reciprocal assurance of self-determination by self-determined means by force of arms. It amounts to defection from the group and nullification of the contract that upholds the group's survival strategy, and therefore the person waives whatever protections the contract provided for him. For people who are unable, they do not deserve the same treatment as such a traitor would be.
And I add, if this is allowed at all, it will relate to the distinction between citizens and residents. Residents will share in basic negative rights, but without sharing in associated obligation, they will not share in all the other associated privileges of citizenry, such as any political whatsoever.
Correct. This is both points are important. Is that you can we still treat children as residents, even though they're not capable of participating in defense, although it's surprising how good boys are at things. But I mean, if you're just, you're sitting in a wheelchair somewhere, well, there might be something you can do, but I'm sure it's not digging trenches or running across fields. So we have to protect those who, by no action of their own, are unable to fill the duties. But at the same time, if you don't fulfill those duties or won't fulfill those duties, you're not able to fulfill those duties in some way, then of course you can't have a say in anything political, because everything we do in politics is just a proxy for violence.
In other words, citizen means insurer.
Yes, correct.